I don't know why. I don't know what the thought process was. But apparently, Threads is just taking over the internet, and we need to have a conversation about whether it is worth your time, if you should even be bothering to spend time here. Like, is it something that you should even do? What even is Threads, and why does it matter? Let's spill some tea on this, shall we? Hi, my name is Desiree, and I help you use video and online marketing to gather leads and convert them into dollars. And Threads is going to be a very new kid on the block that's going to be trying to figure this out. Now, unlike other new platforms that we have seen come across the past couple of years, like Clubhouse, Lemonade, Clapper, and so forth, this one is created and backed by Meta. So what Threads is, for those of you that don't know, is Threads is designed to basically be a Twitter competitor. It doesn't have the limitation of the 280 characters, and it works a lot like how Facebook and Instagram is. You can share pictures, carousels, links, videos, and so forth on the platform. But the thing about it that's kind of nice is that it has this whole new, like, raw, untapped new vibe. So no one has like any preconceived notion. There's no existing formula or strategy of what you're supposed to do to have success on Threads. You're just supposed to show up and figure it out and be who you want to be on that platform. What's really nice about it is it's really easy to get started. You just use your Instagram account that you already have as like your base, and you can just like either go in through Instagram to create your account, or you can go look for Threads in your application store, whether it's for iPhone or for Android, and set it up. You also have the really nice added bonus that Threads right now is ad-free. That's right, ad-free. There's not gonna be any, every third scroll, there's like an advertisement or a post or something unrelated to like what you care about. It's literally just all content based on who you choose to follow, who you kind of pay attention to on Instagram, and sort of this organic feed. What's also really nice that Instagram has decided to like really listen to its users and add in features that they've wanted in the past from other platforms. So some of the things that they've talked about already with Masori is that they're going to be having like a chronological feed. Another thing that people have been asking for, they see a lot, is an edit button. So maybe with any luck, we'll see something like that as well. When you're trying to figure out what you should be posting on Threads, it's very text heavy. Like, it is really trying to be a direct Twitter competitor. In fact, word on the street is that Meta actually hired ex-Twitter employees to come help develop this app so that they could compete with Twitter and give this like new space for sharing information. Again, like I said, though, you can still post images, you can still post links, you can still post carousels, you can still post vertical video as well on the platform, and it actually does really well and maintains a really high quality as well. So that is a really nice feature, but lean into the text the most, as that's what people are really liking the most about Threads. What do you do? Should this be a place you spend your time? I really think that there's like two ways to really approach this. You can either not bother and nothing is going to happen to you if you don't, or two, you can get on and be an early adopter and see if this is a platform that you can use to grow your brand. So let's talk about both of these options. We're talking about the cons of doing this. Like, really, there's like no pressure for you to do this. Like, this isn't a must, a thing you have to be. It's not like me saying, hey, like if you want to exist in the social space, you really need an Instagram or a YouTube channel. No, this is really, you can take this or leave it. There's no pressure for you to get onto this outside of maybe seeing everybody else posting on the other social networks about it. It's actually really funny. The day after that Threads came out, it was actually the #1 trending topic on Twitter, which is, I'm sure, making all the Twitter people like absolutely crazy. But that's kind of like the big thing about it right now. Like all new platforms and anything new, it is a time suck. I remember when Clubhouse came out in the pandemic, and it was just like this all-consuming thing. It was like you had so much FOMO and fear of missing out on what was happening and stuff that you just kind of were there all the time listening, and then you just like lost track of your day and your time and your life, jumping from conversation to conversation. Threads can become a time suck because it's really nice to keep scrolling the content and finding new things, new brands, new conversations from people that you already follow that like they're not having on these other social platforms, because that social platform already has this curated thing. But it can be time consuming. When you're giving something your time, it means you have to take time away from something else. So let's say that you're trying to grow your YouTube channel, or you're trying to spend more time on Instagram engaging with your audience. If you go to Threads, that is time that those other social networks are losing. And eventually, if Threads is the one you really want to dig into and like the most, you have to give up time on another social platform because you still have a limitation of your time. Or if it's not giving up time on social network, you have to give up your time from something else. So you really have to consider that, like, is this worth my time or loss of time from something else that could be an income producing activity? it's a distraction. Like straight up, this is something that can keep you from what you need to do. I have found myself kind of getting sucked into it and spending a little bit more time scrolling more than I have in the past and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want to do that. My recommendation for myself that I've been doing is I'm only giving myself specific time throughout the day to be on the platform to kind of say a couple things, comment on stuff, and just be a part of that conversation. But it's very distracting and very easy to get sucked into the threads because it's all these little micro pieces of content from the people and audience you already care about. But we're talking about the pros, like this could be a really great opportunity. Being an early adopter is a really great way to grow and get new opportunities that you might not have had before. When we were doing Clubhouses, I actually was able to get a couple of speaking opportunities and podcast guest options by joining in on these different conversations that people were having and contributing. I was also able to find other people to be on my podcast and collaborate with and just network and get to know better. I also think it's really funny. I had presented this problem that I don't want to be the same person on every social network I go to. I want to be able to be different versions of myself, not in a schizophrenic kind of a way, but in I am more than just this video and online person. I'm this mom. I love to travel. I love cooking and trying things like my home in Michigan. Maybe I could use the opportunity on Threads to have a new persona on the platform so that I can expand my reach and be this different person. That way I'm not so monotone, and maybe I'd like it more if I could talk about other things I cared about and what I really loved. It's also really nice because it's just really fast and fun conversations. Again, because there's no existing method for success in being on the platform, it's really nice to be able to just talk and see and have conversations without any sort of algorithmic expectations or audience expectations. You can just really be yourself. So you need to ask yourself, which is the right one for you? Which should you do? Spend time with it or not spend time with it? My personal recommendation is just spend a little bit of time figuring out what this platform is. If anything, you want to claim your domain name because it's always important to make sure that you have that owned consistently across all platforms. And it's also, I think, important to just see what is this new platform is. Unlike other platforms, this one is incredibly easy to learn to use. So definitely consider spending time there and just have a little bit of fun doing something different. Just don't get too distracted. Now, what about all the other platforms though? What are you going to do to tie in TikTok, YouTube, Instagram into this strategy if you're going to add threads in? I wanted you to watch this video that I have for you right here. I was going to break down for you all these different platforms, how to use them best, and what should get most of your time.